Hi guys, this is Ross and welcome back to another episode of Follow the Build. We're currently inside Ribeye HQ in the fit out area, and beside me here we've got an 811 really cool specification that's near completion. We had the owner in today taking a look at the boat and we wanted to share it with you. So let's jump inside the boat. So the first thing I want to talk about for this 811 is just the colour specification and some of the little details that the owner's gone into. The family that have spec'd this boat, they had an A600 first, which they bought off us a couple of years ago, and they just naturally wanted to go to a larger boat, something with a bit more performance, a bit more capability, but also something they could spend longer on board. So when you get to that destination, you've got more living quarters. So in this situation, you can see we've got a picnic table, but also things like sunbathing and things like that. But looking at the colour scheme, you might have seen we've been doing a lot of black boats recently, which look really, really cool. But what the owner's done is actually taken the tube design from his previous 6 metre. You can see we've got the two-tone tube, we've got a military grey high pylon finish there, a black swoosh pattern which comes up here, which ties in really nicely with the black gel coat haunch, and the underside of the tube as well is in black. But one of the things that's different to the previous 6 metre was that boat was finished with impression non-slip high pylon, and if you kind of zoom in on this bit here, you can see it's like a sort of really nice carbon effect high pylon, which is probably one of my favourite finishes because it's got that grippy effect, so it's really safe, but it still cleans really well. So carbon is the way I'd probably go if I was speccing a boat myself. And I like that it's just not a single tone, so we've got a bit more going on here. Looking at the upholstery, that is something that's the same as the last 6 metre that they built. So this is what we call diamante upholstery. It's got like a diamond impression on the finish there, on the fabric finish, and then a silver text carbon, which is the grey. Everything's piped in grey, which looks really nice. But one thing that we do on a lot of our boats is we finish these boats with cross stitching, which makes the boat look so super premium. It looks really, really high end. And one of the things you get on the 683s, the 811s, and all the new Ribeye primes that we're building, all the new Ribeye leisure boats, is flipping pieces of upholstery, which is standard fit these days. So you'll see here, the base of the rear bench seat flips in. It's on a hinge, so you're not going to lose that bit of upholstery. And then it reveals another teak step there. So I just came up the transom ladder a moment ago, and one of the things we wanted to design in with these boats is really safe boarding, be it from a pontoon or if you're just using the swim ladder. So accessing from the back of the boat, we've got the mono pole here, you've got the teak step here underneath the cushion I just flipped, and then naturally I can put my foot on this haunch bit of teak, and then I can move to the back of the boat, as you can see there. And what you get on any of the 683s and the 811 is huge steps behind the splash rail here. Perfect for, I could put on a wakeboard here if I wanted, but also just coming up the ladder. You've got really handy handles there. The ergonomics are really well thought out by the Ribeye design and engineering team. You can see on this boat here, something that's really cool is the owner specified the Lopo navigation light upgrade. These are the nav lights. You've got this anchor there, the starboard and the port, either side of the haunch. These are the nav lights we normally fit on our Prime series and on our super yacht tenders. So I've got a nav light upgrade, which I really like. And what I like about the black casing of this anchor light is it's tied in really well with the ski mask, which again the owner has chosen to powder coat in black. So you could finish this on white if it was a white boat, or of course just that polished stainless look looks really nice. You can see things like the cleats and some of the high wear points of the boat, like the guest handles, they're still finished in the polished stainless, which is nice and practical, and a bit of shiny stainless. It's awesome. So going back to socialising on the boat, something which I really like here is this table has been fitted with the flip folding table. There's one of these stainless receivers here in the deck, but also one fitted in the bow, because this boat, not only can you have a picnic area at the front and the back of the boat, but this boat also comes with dual sunbathing as standard. So this will show you what the sunbed looks like on the screen right now, but this really high backrest, not only is it high and ergonomic with the good handholds, but it's completely removable in a few moments, and you can place it down here. And let's say the rear part of the boat was in sunbed mode, you might want to move this table to the front of the boat. But as you can see, if we look at this teak table, you can tell the guys have just varnished it because it smells really nice. But in this situation, you might use it just to put a drink or a beer or a bottle of water on it or something like that. Then if you fold out, it really is quite a substantial size. Really good for a bit of lunch. It is multi-height, so you can adjust it to whoever's sitting behind it if you want to lower it or increase the height. But also what I quite like is, if there's quite a few of you sat down, to be able to squeeze out sometimes, you can kind of turn it on the spot if you need to just stand up, get around it, and then put it back into its position. So I think just as we're back here and we've got the deck lights on right now, you can just see all the other polished bits of stainless standing out really nicely. You've got that sort of bilge sump grille there. And if I show you like the deck bungs that come as standard on our boats, it's got a nice bit of weight to it, and it just really showcases what the Ribeye standard sort of fit out building materials is like these days. It's just everything's really solid, and we haven't tried to scrimp on those things that you may not see at a glance. You've also got things like cup holders here. Cup holder, there's some scans throughout USB outputs, so if you want to charge your smartphone, you'll see there's a receiver here. That all works really nicely. Moving forward, we've got a little bit of storage underneath the rear facing seat. We're doing quite a lot of Yeti coolers, which fit in there really nicely. If you wanted some cool bags that you can take with you whilst you're going to the boat, you can go via the shop, put your drinks and your food in there. But also what I like about the coolers personally is when you get to the beach, you can drop everyone off at the front, they can take the coolers with them for your perfect beach day, which is really cool. Right, so we move to my favourite part of the boat, and the 811 really is a driver's boat. So specified with the ergo suspension helm station, as you can see, you know, you've got the rear facing social seats, the water sports seats, but you've got the forward facing bucket seats, which we fit with the shocks suspension unit, which makes these seats really popular. You can go for like jockey seats, suspension seats, or a lean post here, but this I think is the ultimate for what most people are going to use the boat for. We use a similar sort of helm station on some of the bigger primes as well. In this configuration, you know, you can see you've got the bolster here. So in standing up mode, I can stand here. I've got these two haunches here, just holding my knees in place. So ergonomically, I'm really solid and sound for being at the helm, being stood up whilst still being held in somewhat, so I can relax my hand, and you know, you can have your hands on the throttle there seamlessly, so you can look around. So you'll probably be like this most of the time when you're driving up a river, or if say you're coming in alongside a pontoon. It's super safe. Of course, you're going to have this kill switch around your leg, but obviously we're stationary and the engine's off right now, so we've just got it hanging there. If you want to kind of go into the kind of perch mode, you just sit on top like so. Again, really comfortable. And then you'll see, whilst we've got this non-slip synthetic teak there, we have the Ribeye foot plate. So you'll probably engage your feet in this situation here, because now I'm ergonomically supported, and again, everything is where I need it to be. I can reach everything. I'm starting to get a bit of protection from that square riot shield windscreen. Again, for cruising though, you might just want to sit down in a chair or a bucket seat like you would do in a car. So you just pull that forward like so. It just engages, and you can sit down and put your feet on the ergonomic foot plate, and I really feel like I'm in a premium cockpit right now. As standard, what you get with a Ribeye 811 or a 683 is this really premium nano non-glare dash panels that we fit with the Ribeye stainless steel badging and finishing. And you can just see these consoles are getting more and more enhanced really. This one has gone, you know, this boat's been specified all out. You've got twin 12-inch plotters on there. So many different ways, different perspectives, how you can see the data. Because we've just flicked this on right now, we've got engine data on both screens and on the Yamaha screen, and this screen is built by Garmin now, so you can see all the kind of edging, just looks beautiful and really works. I quite like running one GPS on there quite close and one from afar if I'm going up the coast, so you get the different perspectives as well. But also with the new Yamaha rigging, we mentioned that, you've also got the new throttle system here. Really ergonomic, you've got your trim on there, and also your speed control buttons on the side, the neutral hold. It really is just as good as it gets within Yamaha, and this is all coupled with the new Yamaha offshore V6 engine on the back, which is an absolutely gorgeous bit of kit. Really quiet when you're doing those sort of quiet cruises up the river, but it's got an enhanced exhaust system, and it's a very punchy engine, so when you go quick, trust me, you can hear that thing, and it's all about the driver experience, especially when you couple it with this deep V hull. This is a super capable boat. It's a predictable boat and perfect, and it's designed for the sort of UK sort of coastal cruising. It's a boat that can take you anywhere, and I really mean that. So I mentioned that we had the owner in today just to sort of finalise a few of the build details of this particular Ribeye. You can see here we've got the bimini system, all finished in really nice 316 marine grade. So we were just doing the fitment check with the owner. Now you can see we haven't put the receiver cartridges on here, so we will actually fit some GRP mouldings on here, which we will then cover in this military grade carbon effect hyperlon to hide it. And then there'll be a car system fitted on here, which means you can actually slide the bimini forward and aft down the Ribeye, which means you can choose kind of where you want the shade and things like that. So it's a really well put together bimini, and it works really well finished. Another thing we were looking at today when the owner came in was we might be changing the steering wheel. So this hasn't had the centre bezel put on yet, but this is our Atori wheel. We also have the Mezzala steering wheel option, which with the Ribeye offset logo there looks super, super premium. Question is, guys, which one would you prefer if we were building you a Ribeye? Let us know in the comments if you're watching this. We move to the bow. Right, so we move to the bow area. As I say, we've got the table receiver in the bow here. A really good place actually to deploy the table, because not only can you sit a load of people around the U-berth, and as this is the 811, it's slightly narrower than our Prime, we in the deck moulding we sculpted this bit out a little bit more, so it means you don't have that redundant space where the U-berth tapers in. It means you can fit another 2 people here quite easily, well at least 2 really, and also you can sit someone on the front of the console seat, so a really good place to deploy the table in my opinion. But quite often in the bows of Ribs and other boats you get a lot of sunbathing here as well. So we spoke about the hidden sunbathing you get as standard with the Ribeye 811 at the back of the boat, but this area also does turn into a sunbed. So you've got really nice backrest there, a couple of drainable cup holders as you can see, and then underneath the U-berth, which is a weatherproof locker, we lift this up like so. You've got your sunbed cushions, and they all come in a neat little upholstered bag, just so they don't get scuffed, and if you ever stored other things in that U-berth area, everything's going to age really well. And it's just a nice detail. You can see we finished that in the same upholstery that you customise your seats with. So it's a really nice touch, and I love how this mulberry looks on the black gel coat. It really lifts nicely with that carbon Silvertex piping and beautiful cross stitching. We move to the bow. I mentioned flip pieces of upholstery in the aft of the boat. You get that as standard in the bow, more synthetic, non-slip teak. You've got your anchor locker, works really well. There's a notch out there so you can run your anchor line over the bow, and a pop-up cleat there. And all of our pop-up cleats are super strong and installed really well. We don't just drill through laminate and stick a nut on the underside. All of our boat builders here, they'll install that and fit a very big backing plate on the underside, which means when that cleat gets pulled throughout the lifespan of the boat, you're really spreading that load through the laminate, which means nothing's going to crack, nothing's going to age, and it's just going to be designed and built the way it should be used as the boat gets older. Right guys, so that is a quick run through of this beautiful 811 factory custom. Our thanks to the owners for letting us build such an epic boat, and boat number 2 for that family. This boat will be used around the Devonshire coastline, which is really cool, so we'll be seeing this boat in due course. And it was actually ordered at one of our experience events that we run usually every quarter at Ribeye HQ right here in Dartmouth. We are doing a Ribeye experience event. The next one is I think it's late January, if not early February. But if you check out our website and just keep an eye on our social medias, you'll hear more details from that very soon. All about factory tours, meeting the team, see how we build these boats, and then most importantly, if something like this was of interest, we get you behind the wheel of one of our demo boats or one of our XO boats to showcase what the difference is all about, guys. So if that's something that's of interest, do get in touch. It'd be great to have a chat.